a pleasant greeting to everyone, and welcome back to another episode of our venture in the visual novel Adventure of a Lifetime. Last episode, Hiroki and Chisa appear to have been on a somewhat forced date, if you will, organized by Emily because Emily's tired of unresolved problems, which is understandable. At the same time, there are certain things that you just don't push, but I guess she pushed Chisa hard enough and Chisa just listened. I'm not sure if it was necessarily forced or if Emily possibly gave Chisa the puppy dog eyes, because according to Chisa, Emily has weaponized her cuteness some way, shape, or form or another. So Hiroki and Chisa are on a date. To which, in the last scene, as Hiroki gets a better understanding of Chisa's struggles in finding a suitable partner for romantic progressions, are at a little picnic, and Hiroki offered Chisa to feed her a sandwich or one other food item. But how does she respond to that? Let's find out today, shall we? Let us begin. I picked up a meatball and held it out to her. Here, say ah.
それ、普通女の子がやるやつでしょ?
Not in this instant, apparently. Well, we can switch afterwards, so you get your turn too. Come on, open up.
何よそれ?
Oh, quit being such a soon. She ate the whole meatball in one bite.
なんか懐かしい味.
Tastes like the ones we used to get in our lunches when we were little, right? That was the flavor I'd been trying to recreate. As she chewed her food, Chisa's expression slowly became more and more troubled.
将来あんたと結婚する人は不幸だわ. 冷凍食品とかレトルトとか絶対出せないんだもん.
I wonder if that is an actual issue for people who excel in culinary arts. Most frozen foods aren't so bad these days. Sometimes better than whatever an amateur could put together.
あんたとなんか絶対結婚したくない.
Well, there goes that. All right, let's pack up and get out of here, folks. Think you can be a little less harsh? I mean, we are on a date here.
そうだったわね. てっきり私の女としてのプライドをへし折る回かと思ってたわ.
It's not like anyone judges women by their culinary skills anymore. I don't expect you to be a great cook.
殴るぞ!
Sorry.
はい。あんしなさい.
Chisa nonchalantly picked up another meatball and shoved it toward my face. Yo, cuz, if you don't want to do this with the proper mannerism, then don't do it. All right? Because what... I mean, just really. Man, these are good.
自画自賛してんじゃないわよ. あー、やだやだ. 私のプライドはズタボロよ.
Why don't you just practice some feminine procedures or common feminine things? If you really feel like your feminine pride is that bunched, then why not just do something about it? I mean, I don't know what feminine things that you probably are insecure about at this point, but whatever they are, just, figure them out. She started eating another sandwich, but she looked emotionally exhausted. After lunch, we decided to play around in the water for a while.
それ! この!
Chisa stood in knee-deep waves, kicking and splashing water in my direction. Whoa! Hey, quit it!
それ!
Time for a counterattack! I splashed back. We were still in our clothes, but they would dry out easily under the sun. Do you feel like diving in?
私なんで
I don't know. I guess that's where you seem most comfortable. Like water this deep feels like it isn't enough.
他に遊ぶ場所がないから泳いでただけよ。私もちなみみたいに部屋でゲームやってようかしら。
Become a shut-in, huh? I don't buy that. No way.
やけに断定的ね。理由を聞こうじゃない？
It's just not like you. The Chisa I love isn't some gloomy shut-in.
自分の理想を押し付けないでほしいわね。それから
And besides...
好きって言い過ぎ！
Ah! Caught off guard by a fresh attack, I fell backward into the water.
やーい、転んだ！
Chisa ran off in triumph after getting a few laughs in. Now you've done it! Get back here!
こっちだよ！
I chased after her. It felt like old times. Except that Chisa didn't make an escape into the sea. Instead, she was running across the beach so hard she tripped herself. And there goes one more sprained ankle. As far as falls go, this one was pretty dramatic.
砂食べちゃった。
Oh my. Must be karma. Chisa grumbled as she stood and dusted herself off.
鬼ごっこでヒロキに負けたことなかったのに。
It's probably because you don't have your swimsuit. The ocean was a great escape route because no one could match Chisa's speed in the water. Except for Finn, maybe.
私って泳ぐことくらいしか取り柄ない？
Only if you want to be that good for it. But hey, there's always the possibility you can develop other skills. Huh?
そりゃ勉強もいまいちだし、エミリーみたいに綺麗じゃないし、ヒロキみたいに料理も得意じゃないけどさ。
Okay, the smart part, that's fixable. The pretty part, I'm sure all of you can agree that Chisa is actually quite stunning. The cook part, there are plenty of recipes that you can learn and then just add your own flavor to it. You got options, Chisa. The issue that becomes the most is when you don't want to learn. That's the major issue. When you don't want to learn, then you cut yourself off from growing. Remember that, folks. And then I noticed how dejected Chisa looked. She was usually so cheerful and uncomplicated that it was easy to forget she had a serious side to her. It didn't help that she also put the needs of others before herself. As a result, Chisa wasn't the best at saying how she really felt. Say, Chisa, I heard you've been working to save some money. But I trailed off. I wasn't even sure if she wanted to talk about it.
何？言いなさいよ、気持ち悪いわね。
Are you, maybe, planning to move away? Chisa's expression changed. Her usual childlike demeanor vanished, replaced with a cold look that didn't encourage further discussion.
何それ？急に変なこと言わないで。
Sorry. I was just wondering.
私のこと何でもかんでも知ってるみたいに思わないでよね。
Why don't you tell him what he doesn't know then, especially since you're best friends?
あんたは私のこと何にも分かってないんだから。
You gonna educate him or you just gonna keep him in the dark, especially when he wants to understand?
4年も会いに来なかったくせに。
Chisa seemed to snap out of her reverie as her raised voice rang out across the beach. But this subject clearly made her uncomfortable and she turned away. Chisa.
ほっといて!
She shouted as she walked further and further away from me. Chisa had disappeared for most of the day, but finally returned to the beach around sunset. Ignoring me, she climbed into the outrigger and started up the engine.
あれ
What's wrong?
はあ、エンジンがかからない。
Chisa let out an exasperated sigh.
なんなのよこいつ。
Broken again, huh? Ryota got the cheap outboard motor secondhand and attached it himself, but I had a feeling it was nearing the end of its life. At least it didn't give out halfway and leave us stranded in the ocean.
よくないわよ。帰れないじゃない。
She cast an apprehensive look at the sky. The sun was going down fast. Chisa continued inspecting the engine, desperately trying to find out what had gone wrong. Here, let me take a look. We switched places, but I was equally lost. And before I knew it, the sun had sunk beneath the horizon. There's nothing I can do.
もう最悪。
Maybe we can call Ryota and get him to pick us up. There weren't any storms on the weather forecast today, so it shouldn't be a problem.
スマホのバッテリー切れてる。
Seriously?
一人で隠れてる間、暇だったんだもん。
So after she stormed away, she had just killed time on her phone.
そっちは？
I left it at home.
なんでよ。
I was so excited about the date, I didn't want anything interrupting it.
どうすんのよ。助け呼べないじゃん。っ
We just have to wait until tomorrow to fix it.
てことは。
I guess we're camping tonight. Chisa looked up. After the sun took its leave, the sky had darkened and the stars had finally came out. The two of us lay down on the beach, gazing out into the night. Laying here, it almost feels like the whole world is just this starry sky.
そうかしら。普通でしょ。
Out here, maybe. But you can't see this many stars in the city.
知らないわよ、そんなの。
Chisa had grown up in Ogasawara. Underneath this sky, she had no idea how special it was. I guess normal is just whatever you're used to. We used to do this, yeah? Stargazing on the beach. We saw a meteor shower once, too. I had heard about the Perseid meteor showers, so Chisa and I had gone to Omura Beach to watch it together. We fell asleep right there on the beach. Grandma was so mad when she had come to find us.
そうだっけ。
Her reply was lackluster. Yeah, don't you remember? You know, this is kind of the part where I would basically just give up and not even talk, because it's like, especially if I'm like, look, I want to understand, but now you're not even giving me the chance to understand, even though I'm at full attention. That's a big notice to just say, okay, since you don't want to try, what's the point of me trying?
また流れた。ねえ、今ので何個目？
Number 16.
すごいね。こんなにたくさん流れ星見たの初めてだよ。
There's so many stars here. The sky looks just like it does in photos in our science books.
ヒロキンちじゃ星はないの？
Not this many. That was the first time I'd seen the Milky Way with my own eyes.
へえ、不思議だね。なんでだろう。
Light pollution from cities makes it seem like there are less stars in the sky. The light disrupts the contrast between the stars and the dark sky, so there are a lot less stars visible to the naked eye. At the time, I wasn't living in the really big city, but you could see twice as many stars in Ogasawara. It was this kind of sky you expected to see in some grand science fiction epic. We could watch it forever.
あ、また17個目。
That was really big one. Did you make a wish?
忘れてた。今からしよう。
Me too. We both closed our eyes and mumbled our wishes.
よし。
What did you wish for?
秘密。ひろきは？
Mine's a secret too.
ずるい。
You too.
ああ、一個こっちに落ちてこないかな。そしたらすごい宝物になるのに。
Chisa reached out as if she was trying to grab one of the meteors flying by. I probably totally butchered his younger voice. I probably totally butchered it. I watched the summer night sky silently. The Ogasawara night sky hadn't changed. The crowd of stars seemed so infinite that even drawing constellations seemed impossible. Everything was silent except for the gentle sound of the waves lapping back and forth over the beach. Then Chisa spoke.
覚えてるに決まってるでしょ。私にはそれしかないんだから。
What do you mean? I glanced over to see Chisa's face shadowed by sorrow, her eyes moist with unshed tears. I pretended not to notice.
私は小笠原から外へ出たことがない。
What about your junior high school trip? I had heard something about an exchange program with a sister city in Nagano. A lot of kids from the Ogasawara island chain had never seen snow, so everyone looked forward to that trip.
熱出していけなかった。
I see. That was too bad.
そうよ。認めるわよ。私はこの島から出て行きたいの。
I seriously want to bop you with a newspaper. You talking about all this crazy stuff, and then you finally admitted playing this ring around the rosy game of mental stability and instability. That stuff drives me crazy. Somebody get a newspaper and just bop her upside the head.
お金貯めて、海が透明じゃなくて星も半分しかない、もっと都会の街で暮らしてみたい。小笠原の海も空も大嫌い。
She threw a handful of sand at the sky. Hey, watch out!
砂食べちゃった。
She'd thrown it straight up, so of course it had fallen back in her face. There was a break in the conversation as we both scrambled up to brush ourselves off. What's wrong, Chisa? This isn't like you.
何よ。私が小笠原のこと嫌いじゃいけない？観光キャンペーンガールやらなきゃダメなの？
That's not what I mean. How long has she been keeping all of this bottled up inside?
だって楽しい思い出はみんなヒロキと一緒だったんだもん。海や空がどんなに綺麗でも一人じゃつまんない。
Okay, so why don't you just come out and say that instead of giving this dude the runaround? Why not try to reconcile instead of just be pushing him away? And I get it, he's going back in a little while, but still, if you don't resolve this and get proper closure, it's just going to create more problems.
どうせ子供っぽいですよ。でもね。ああ、もう！
Why not ask if you can go back with him? You two know each other really well, so I'm pretty sure he could probably pull some strings with his parents, right? I mean, you're not gonna know until you actually ask. Chisa threw another handful of sand in front of her this time. Then she got to her feet.
あっち向いてて！
Huh? I was confused at first, but then Chisa started taking off her clothes. Whoa, hey, what are you doing?
泳ぐの。
You're not wearing your swimsuit, remember?
いいじゃない。暗いから見えやしないわ。
Within a few moments, her sweatshirt, camisole, and shorts were gone. She untied her hair and even threw her underwear down on the sand. Naked as day she was born, Chisa ran down the beach and dove into the ocean. What the heck? After a couple of minutes below, her head appeared above the water.
Hiroki も来なさいよ。気持ちいいわよ。
But I don't have a swimsuit.
いいから来い。
Okay, fine. I took off my shirt, shoes, and socks, but I kept my pants on as I ran toward the water. Okay, let's take a break. Let's seriously take a break. Because it just escalated quite rapidly. And I was just like, what? But you know, folks, that's one thing that is necessary is when you're troubled by something, you need to communicate it, but also be comprehensive, be properly comprehensive. Because when you just bottle things up and all like that, a lot of things can go wrong because the pain just grows and grows and grows without any type of reconciliation or resolve. It's just going to grow and ultimately it's just going to boil over. And then you start pushing people away whom genuinely want to help you. And even though it's not the solution you may want, there comes solutions that we need that may take us to solutions that we want. But that's not always the case. But let's be careful that we don't focus so much on the solutions we want that we don't consider the solutions that we need. Because sometimes the solutions that we want actually cause more problems than they actually solve. So, a word from the wise to help educate and wisen others. So with that, I want to thank everyone for watching this video this time around. If you like what you saw, maybe consider leaving a like. And if you would like to see more, and if you haven't already, maybe consider subscribing. So until next time, happy mixing, everyone.